Well, things pick right back up right after Captain Kurisuchi's fight, as the last episode left him laughing maniacally, as it seems like he was going to win the fight, and he was happy that his glorious Bankai ate the hands whole. Well, at the start of this episode, you can see where the Bankai is not really looking so good, and then it kind of shows a little bit of a mist, and then straight into the captains as they are running. So we don't know what is the resolution here for this captain, Kurisuchi, but of course it will come back, circle back around to him in a future episode. But for now, the center of this episode was all about a Captain Shunsui fighting against their Sternritter X, the Axis. Overall, this fight stayed very true to what was going on in the manga. I don't think there was anything really here that they took away from it. They essentially made sure they explained everything, Shusui's power, what it comes from, and how it manifests as far as for the games that he plays. Now, I believe a lot of these games, as they're explained, are more like kid Japanese games. And of course, it may be lost of translation compared to, like, you know, viewers in America, American kid games. But they did make sure to sit back and explain, like, okay, this is the game. And then even the Sternritter's like, oh, yes, that is like this game from where we're from. And he's like, oh, well, I guess I didn't have to explain the rules. But it was good that he explained the rules because we kind of know exactly, you know, red light, green light, you know, with a mix of tag in there, essentially what was happening. So they even broke it down as far as like, oh, you used an after image using spiritual pressure and then ran straight to him while being kind of quasi invisible, fast, or within the shadows. Because he definitely deals with shadows a whole lot with his power. Now, I have to admit, I mean, I've always loved his swords. Look at them, the curved hilt along with the curved blades, like that. Those swords alone look like they do some serious damage. But his power, the fact that they're all about kid games and stuff, is definitely one of the most complicated powers. There's so many games you would have to know and play. Just think of all the games that you've played as a kid, you know, just playing with other kids, whether in recess or playground or anything like that, and you as a grown adult have to use that as your power. That has got to be one of the most complicated things ever. Although whenever he does finally go Bankai, his Bankai is very powerful, as if it's like a theater and it has to do some acts into the play, as he tells the Sternritter, please be quiet as we go through the acts, and essentially does so much to the opponent. Now, Ohana was a character that we have seen before. If you are a fellow watcher of Bleach, there was a filler arc where essentially all of the characters' Zanpakutos kind of came alive, and you could see, like, everyone could see everyone else's Zanpakuto image. So we have seen this woman physically in one of the filler arcs. Now, like we talked about before, Bleach filler arcs, you could never really know them as filler because they will tie in some information that could be useful later. In this case, seeing her is definitely something I've seen before, and it's like, I can see where the internet is kind of going ablaze of how attractive she looks. And, you know, the fact that this is his swords. She is literally his swords. So it's like, yeah, you can't really ship them when he is already in a relationship with his own swords and the image of his swords. So, you know, he has a very interesting power. And the fact that she comes out and is like, hey, you don't get to see me often. Well, it's probably because he doesn't go Bankai a whole lot of times, because even he was afraid that Nanao will actually get trapped inside of his Bankai. In this case, like, you see the water, and he definitely has a Bankai that you got to be very careful of who's around you, because it's not only self-destructive to him, but self-destructive to those around him. A very powerful Bankai, set in stages like previous Captain Commander, but it seems like this power is set to take on maybe one enemy or maybe a group of enemies, kind of like the guy that has the music Bankai, where it's best for a group of enemies. So it's hard to really gauge, like with all 4 acts and the final phases and such, if this is, does his Bankai always go in that set? Like it always has to go one after another after another? I don't know, but overall it was a pretty good, effective way of taking out your opponent. And as he's like ready to lay in her lap and she's about to attack him, of course he sits there and it's like, well, this is what it is. And I hate the fact that the episode ended mid-sentence while he was about to say something. But c'est la vie, this is Bleach. Now, the images, like I said before, from this episode were very nice because they did a very good job of showcasing like the panels from the manga, how striking they are in comparison to the actual images in this episode. So overall, nothing much I could really say about this because this episode was very straightforward. And anything more that I want to say would end up being spoilers. But for right now, great episode and a great way of seeing another person that has been in Bleach literally all this time. And we finally, at the very end, get to see their Bankai and how powerful it can be. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. Of course, if I hit the mark, if I missed a few things, but just understand that I'm holding back a few descriptions because of spoilers. But we'll probably discuss more about that next week. In the meantime, you guys be safe. You take care of yourselves. Do not forget to like the video. Do not forget to subscribe if you enjoy what we're doing here. Definitely hit that bell notification so you know what's going down and how more information will be coming to you later. You guys be safe. Take care, Lord willing. I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.